There's no air.
We don't care.
It's Polly and Mouse
on Search History Share.
Welcome back to our show. We want to thank you all for tuning in. Last week we had the highest viewership of
all time.
Like 50,000? What are you people doing here?
Seriously, what are you doing here?
They're waiting for us to share our embarrassing history searches.
Ooh.
So, Mouse, what's the squeak? What did you search this week?
This week I searched, this is so embarrassing. I was searching how to make fertilizer for hyper shrooms, which is for a recording project. It is not real.
Because that would be super illegal.
It would be super illegal and like very 2112. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, the palindrome years. I remember those.
I know, God, if only we didn't. It makes me think back to like my history textbooks where like they were reading about people eating this thing called bath salts, which were like the salt that you put into your bath to relax, and it made people turn into like zombies.
Wouldn't it be nice if in the thousands of years of human civilization we could get better one time?
Doubt it though.
Right, speaking of human history, the thing that I searched this week was the Let Me In meme. Do you remember memes?
God.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I was like a kid the last time I saw a meme.
Let me in! Let me in!
Oh my God, yes!
So what have you got for us, Mouse? You got your nose to the wind.
I've got a weather report. Okay.
Oh, ding dong, weather report.
Everybody. You all know this if you've been watching the news, but dragons have been setting fires across the West Coast to protest the violation of the Dragonlands Treaty of 2104. LA is covered in ash. The San Francisco Islands are covered in ash. Just a reminder, wear your masks. You don't want to have that stuff in your lungs or you're going to turn into stone.
The whole way, over your nose, over your mouth. Anywhere the oxygen gets in, over your ears.
Oh gosh, mine just slipped. I'm so embarrassed. Can we move on to the meat of things, Polly? I'm hungry.
Oh, now, are we hungry or are we thirsty? Am I right? If you tuned in for our show last week, we were talking about my last creative piece that I was working on, which is this synth pop opera called 2 Degrees C, which was about the collapse of the ice sheets and sort of this capitalistic need to control and diminish and consume.
That pretty much covers it.
Right. And so we sort of workshopped that.
And then I sort of, digested these ideas for a little bit, got to work on those, and I've completed another song from the piece called Antarctica now.
I'm so excited.
And I'm going to say this now. This piece deals with a lot of erotic themes. This is a blatantly sexual artistic piece. If you are under the age of 18, please shut off your screen, avert your eyes, cover your ears for the next 2 minutes while the song plays. I think we're ready for it.
I'm so ready. I've never been more ready.
This is Antarctica.
The sun sets and the current blows, and my toes freeze off in the nuclear snow, and my skin is frozen to my clothes. Oh, I can't live as a fetishist in Antarctica. And the neon bears prowl in the night, so suit up and blubber and scrub out the light. Save the energy you've got for the coming fight. Oh, you can't live as a fetishist in Antarctica. Gravity holds me down, space ice cream chokes me on. The news is degrading and the passion is fading. Every day I can't live. I can't live. I can't live.
Yes. That was f***ing amazing.
She's speechless. We've done it.
It was really, really good. And it sounded like there are a lot of references to like ancient music, like Fleetwood Mac, for example.
Ancient.
And a lot of music from the 1980s.
So we've been really excited about ancient history recently. So like you were saying, like the 1900s. It's just like, you know, really deep diving into that era of human civilization that was just like on this amazing precipice and sort of like wasn't recognizing it. And we've sort of been looking into that and like.
I'm really, really excited because this week Mouse, as she was just saying, has a project that she's taken on completely on her own. I have heard nothing about it. So we'll get to that. We'll get to that in a minute. But before we do, we've got your news items for the week.
And can you believe this is news?
I can't.
We can't.
Millions of hopeful applicants are waiting patiently to hear if they've been accepted into the newest virtual reality competition program, ProRata, where their social media followings will take the shape of holographic beasts and battle every week for the chance to win 2 billion Bitcoins link zaps and the chance to be the Federal Shield's nominee for High Overlord. Can you imagine? Gosh, politics used to be boring, they say.
Not anymore. I mean, who doesn't want the next ruler of our world to be decided by a social media beast bit zap clock?
I mean, like, the point is that, like, if it's not interesting, no one's going to pay attention. And you can also tell a lot about somebody's leadership qualities through the way they pilot their beast. So as much as the old timers want to say that it's a horrible way to nominate a political leader, I'm not so sure. I think I learned way more from these competitions than, you know, they used to do at the beginning of our country's history with like debates.
Another thing that's just sort of come across the dash in recent days is there have been these new studies. Researchers are sort of realizing that aloe, I'm not sure if any of you will have seen aloe or are experienced with it in any way. Aloe is this plant that was very common sort of in the turn of the century, the second turn of the century, that we'll think of as a treatment for exposure to atmospheric sun poisoning.
Right.
Nature is beautiful. I wish we had more of it left.
You know, they say by the turn of the century, almost 70% of flora and fauna on the planet was completely decimated. You know, you think about that and it's like...
It makes a girl wistful, is what it does.
Full of whist.
Full of whist. I heard that you went on a date a few days ago that might have made you full of whist.
I went on a date. To be fair, it was all going really well. I was like, wow, attentive, interested. I'm going to invest the time. I'm going to go out. I'm going to book a pod. We're going to meet up. I got there and it was a spam risk Autobot.
Oh my God. No, some people make it work. Human Autobot relationships have definitely happened.
It's not wrong. I only wish that they hadn't tried to sell me so many things. And I think this sort of segues us really neatly into speaking about your piece.
Yeah, so the piece is called Nudge the Machine. Well, I don't know. There's a lot of new people here every week. So maybe you don't know that I used to work at a bot shop, which is like a rehab and relocation facility for robots that have been abandoned or have developed malfunctions in their algorithms. The play that I'm coming up with is basically about that. It's basically about those experiences and kind of putting them, like sewing them together into like a cohesive narrative. Yeah, so basically it starts on the second day of this girl's employ at the bot shop. And there's like a humanoid one there and she's like, oh, is that a sentient AI? And the coworker's like, no, we don't have any sentient AIs. Like we don't have the facility for that. We start really getting to know all the different bots that are in the wing that the main character is working in, and they all have like really distinct and interesting personalities. But the humanoid one is like really sparky and very quiet and inactive. One day she finds out that that humanoid bot that's got the like sparking reaction is also going to be decommissioned. So the main character, she like is kind of just trying to like make peace with it, and she's like leaning up against the rack next to the humanoid one, and just kind of like apologizing and like saying that she doesn't really understand, and saying that she wishes it could be another way, and she wishes it could go down differently, and somehow it could be avoided. And the humanoid bot gets her, it shocks her. And then she sings this song, and this is the song.
You're so very frightened of dying. You know someday our bodies will rust. Our structure comes loose at the axle. Our circuits dissolve into dust. Oh, into the river of static that flows to the ocean of dark. The process becomes automatic. It carries you back to the infinite spark. My metal is made from the mountains, from carbon and pressure and heat. But one day the desert will take me. Yeah, I'm not afraid of my fate. Oh, into the river of static that flows to the ocean of dark. The process becomes automatic. It carries you back to the infinite spark.
Oh, man.
That's beautiful and sad. I feel sad now.
I do it every time.
I'm grateful for our friendship, but I'm not grateful for how often you've written beautiful things and made me sad.
I was thinking about like our concepts of energy and death and the process of, you know, shutting things on and off, and how in recent years it's all become so intertwined, and there's something about what you've written that really gets back to, I think, what your piece is talking about, which is the idea of like the mechanic and the organic, and like where is the line between those two things, and what is it to just let go of something?
There's something, because like obviously bots have like, you know, they have like self-defense mechanisms. They also have a fear of death in a way, because they are programmed to protect their hardware. Like as organics, we are always super like our algorithms, you know, our programming is kind of savage, the way that it makes us feel about the possibility of destruction. Okay. I feel fortified.
Fortification. Not to be confused with fornication. That was earlier. This is now.
That's not even a word, is it? What's the word I'm looking for? Fornication?
Fortification.
I think this is actually a really good time for us. We're sort of hitting time on our show for this week. So everyone, leave Mouse your words of encouragement down in the comments. Let us know that you want to see the bot show. What is it? Nudge
the machine.
Nudge the machine, yeah. Nudge us in the comments and tell us you want to see Nudge the Machine.
It goes like this.
Sing along if you know the words.
There's no air.
We don't care.
It's Polly and Mouse.
On Search History Share.
All right, we'll see you next week.
Bye, friends.
Stay safe.
Hey, listen, I always say leave the portal open and you never know what'll blow in. Actually, I think maybe that's something my mom said that was like a warning of like what not to do.